we have started to see a trend, and this is kind of an offshoot of Black Lives Matter and just the general go back to Africa commentary we got from a lot of folks in the conservative ranks. You're not welcome here, you're not wanted here. The whole rebel flag thing, all of that. You've seen a lot of 5-star African American athletes coming out of high school who are opting to go to HBCUs instead of the big time, predominantly white institutions. There was the one guy, what was his name, Lou?
Akira Maker.
Yeah, I don't watch basketball. I'm strictly football person. But the one guy, Akira Maker, he was the first one to do it, and he was like a big time recruit. Now we've had a couple more, and actually it's starting to become a thing. So, Lou, you did the research. Why don't you kick us off on that one?
Did I? Yeah, so...
you know his name, you know what I'm saying?
Maker, he's the first 5-star recruit. He's a 5-star recruit, or was a 5-star recruit. He's the first one in the modern era to choose a HBCU over a PWI, big program at a PWI. And
hey, Lou, he wasn't the first one.
Who was the first?
It was in 1980.
We talking about right now, Chuck. You talking about?
Oh, you're talking about right now.
But he's right. Contemporary is still 1980, so he's right.
19 Earl Jones.
Yeah, Earl Jones. Yeah,
he was the first black top recruit to go to an HBCU.
Well, we talking
right
about now.
Yeah,
it's a trend that's happening because of Black Lives Matter and all of that.
Yeah,
but he gave his reason. He chose Howard, and I saw some things that he wrote about, or things he said about why he chose Howard. It was reminiscent of me choosing Morehouse. He went there. He was interested in Howard because of the alum. A couple of his favorite actors are alum. Anthony Anderson, and I forget the other guy's name. And then he went and visited during homecoming, and was sold. He went to homecoming.
Doing homecoming.
That's all it takes is a homecoming.
Yeah. He went to homecoming. And then he said he also wanted to, he did reference BLM, and that, this is once in a generation type of thing where he might be able to influence others to make similar decisions. So he wanted to be a change agent.
Yeah. Yeah. And he also wanted to, it'll be a way to generate some more revenue for the school. He want to bring a championship to a HBC, when they get in the tournament. He wants to bring them a championship. And he will, if he does, it will be the first HBCU school in Division I to win a Division I championship. If he does, I mean, he has to. He's good. He's like,
this man for quite a lot.
He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it his first year.
Nah, he ain't going to do it his first year. He's not going to do that himself. I mean, I think
he's not going to do that but a year.
No, he already said he may win. One and done.
Nah, he may win the HBCU.
That's one and done.
Nah, but listen, he may win the HBCU, that whatever conference that I think that's the MEAC in Howard. He may win. They may win the MEAC. But
Howard Division I now. They Division I.
No, they are. They're Division I. Howard is Division I. But when they go to the tournament, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to sustain. They're not going to go to that far with just him going to the final.
Yeah, they may get past day one now, but they ain't going to get the.
Man, Howard does. They did it before. They did it.
No, they have. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I mean, there've been Cinderellas that make it to the Final Four, but when they get in the mix, you know what I'm saying, and start playing Kentucky and UCLA, the likelihood is just not as there because you're playing up against a whole squad of 5 and 4-star athletes. You know what I'm saying?
But here's a question now, because when these guys start off going HBCUs, do you give a shit about the tournament? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like at that point we kind of got our own. We kind of
the thing is the way the basketball works though is that once you win your conference, and even in the MEAC, it's not about winning your conference. No, it actually is.
It is
winning your conference, and you might have a you might have a losing ass record, but as long as you win your conference, you go to this tournament of 64, right?
Yeah.
And so at that point, that's when all the excitement comes in, because if you got McCour bringing Howard to the tournament, and they make it past the Sweet 16, that is when if that can happen, that's when folks is coming to the HBCUs. Believe that. But if they don't make no noise, in the tournament, Howard gets in there, and they not making any noise, it ain't gonna be, it's not gonna generate as much excitement. So it's gonna be on him to get that squad at least past the Sweet 16, make some noise, maybe beat a Kansas or somebody, and then folks will really take notice.
The way they're going to be able to recruit new, 5-star prospects is you're going to have to expand other HBCUs getting into those other conferences, because right now, Howard and North Carolina Central and those guys are pretty much functioning in one conference, which is the only conference that they have to win that will allow them to get to the NCAA. So it doesn't matter if the other HBCUs are there if they aren't able to get to the tournament. So that's really got to be the big push beyond Maker's Mark right now.
But what I'm saying, you're right as it stands. But once you start loading those HBCUs with talent, they're no longer that off-brand conference.
I agree. Yes.
So at that point, that's when they'll start allowing those schools to get in on the popular, on the what do they call it when they just allow schools based on their record?
Right.
They allow those schools
at large.
Yeah.
And Jay,
I think that's what's going to happen though.
Factor. Oh, go ahead, cool.
No, but go finish the entertainment factor. Go finish that.
I think about the entertainment factor. I mean, y'all remember we first got to college, we had Harold Ellis, Larry Lewis, then amazing squad. I mean, basketball was unreal in Morehouse when we first got to school. Just imagine if it was at that level again when these guys start coming back. And Harold went to the league out of Morehouse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this is
Larry coaches in the league. He coached in the league.
Yeah, I saw that.
So think about this. Think about this basketball, right? Normally you one and done. Think about all the revenue. I never see the trend. I saw a Twitter today with Boogie Cousin says he went to Howard for homecoming. They was changing classes. And he was like, damn. He had already been to Kentucky. He's like, man, I should have went to Howard. That's his biggest regret. I should have went to Howard. So you got Boogie Cousin, he's in the league, LeBron James, and you got this whole sediment right now in this country. And the brothers going to Howard, I think it's going to be fantastic, because what it's going to do, generate money for the school, the excitement. And Kentucky is cool, but I guarantee you're going to feel a lot better in those stands than all those beautiful sisters playing at Howard and all that going on. Boogie said today, like, man, he was looking at class like, wow, this is incredible. Boogie said, I have never seen so much intelligent, I'm gonna quote him, blackness in one location. It was incredible. So he advised all these kids to go to you can go to school for 1 year. Go to school that 1 year. Some may stay 2, get the cash, bring a spotlight on the school, and just change the narrative.
And then, to add to what you just said, it's got to be it is going to also allow more HBCU schools to get into Division I.
Yep.
Because now, it's only Howard, Hampton.
Yeah, they're Division, but you got to understand, they're Division I, but they're not Division. I think it's like a single A, double A. They used to do it. I don't know if they do it like that. But they're not, they are Division I as it stands, because they're able to make the tournament, right? So it's just a matter of getting them as a qualified school, so it's not about their winning the championship.
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying. It'll be more schools that'll be able to be in the double A.
Right.
Right.
Or in the
Division.
Well, in the single A. I forget how they do it.
Yeah, I forgot. I know what you're saying, but it's only 3 as of now. That's in the single A. That play against, top tier schools.
Yeah, that's Hampton, Tennessee State, and who else?
And Howard.
No, but Howard is playing in the MEAC. See, Hampton and Tennessee State are in different conferences now.
I thought Howard
No, Howard.
There was a shake-up recently.
It was.
I'm not sure. I think in the day, though, man, the entertainment level is about to be amazing. Basketball, football, I mean, we're gonna start going to the game at homecoming.
I mean, he's already going to generate revenue, and Howard basketball games will be televised. Believe
Hey, well, look, but just so you all know, there are only 2 Division I conferences for HBCUs. That's the MEAC, which we're talking about, which Howard and NC Central are in, and then there's the Southern Western Athletic Conference.
Swag, yeah.
And so again,
Grambling and all of that.
We got to get for this to be a really big thing. Like, I think this is a big deal with Maker going to Howard, but you gotta get these other HBCUs in that conferences or in those conferences to really elevate that recruitment for that top talent. Because right now, like we said, we understand what college basketball is all about. It's one and done, man. Them guys they're gonna always still opt for the bigger school for the notoriety, for the visibility. So you gotta get in these other conferences or get these other conferences to become Division I so that they can benefit from what they're trying to do with going to college and playing ball.
But you know, the narrative can be changed because, like you said, it's a one and done game anyway nowadays. And so, okay, it's the difference between, okay, you go to Kentucky, you're on a posh jet and you have good athletic facilities versus going to Howard where you got to take a bus, but you're still at home and people look like you. And you got folks that look like you. And then there's a sense of community, what they don't get at a big school.
True.
And so that's the offset. And I think, when they see the value in that, versus, getting, shuffled around in a private jet, I think that may even turn the narrative around because there's a lot to that. And, because at the end of the day, HBCUs, folks actually give a shit about you, when you're there.
Yeah,
Teachers, you're not just this dude that plays basketball, who's just trying to, essentially everybody knows is going to leave and he's just a number. He's just another black kid and we'll get another black kid next year. You know what I'm saying? That's how you look at it.
And you know what? You would have a lot more fun in that year at Howard than that year at Kentucky, that's for sure. But you know what? I thought something. Didn't they just recently approve NCAA players getting endorsement money?
No, they're trying still to do that.
I don't know where that is. I know there's certain states.
California.
It was states. California and Florida, I believe, did it. Yeah.
Hey, Carl, I want to go back.
Change the game.
Hey, Carl, I want to go back to one thing real quick. You said it's going to be more fun in that 1 year.
Yes.
You must have missed that segment in Spike Lee's He Got Game with my man Rick Fox say, and they wash your drawers. That ain't happening with certain sisters.
Okay. Before you get down the rabbit hole,
I'm not talking about black women. I'm talking about just women, right? I'm talking about women in general.
It's gonna be a different kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man. Quincy, man.
So let me ask y'all this: what's gonna be the difference in his experience at Howard as opposed to going to the University of Kentucky?
Well, I just stated it, man. The community experience, the sense of belonging. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to have the posh jet. He may not have as many of the crazy experiences with other women. You know what I'm saying? But
he will. This is going to be a different demographic.
Yeah, different demographic. But it's going to be experiences that he's going to have
a better experience.
Yeah, he's going to have an experience. And he might even decide, I doubt it, but he might even decide to stay. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that because especially if they let them get endorsement, if they get endorsement money, it might become a thing where you want to get that degree from Howard. You want to have that experience because you get paid. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And you may not, it'll help you develop your game. But, the NBA is one of those deals where it's like, man, come on through this cash. You can get your education later on. And I fully support that.
Man, right. And you might as well when you think about it, because it used to be a time when they were, you could come straight out of high school. They banned that. And then now it's a 1 year thing. You got to have at least 1 year in college, whatever. And now they've created this G League where, that's pretty much like the minor league. You might as well just develop your game at somewhere where people want you, Exactly. Now the issue that I will say, I had this conversation with the Grant, one of the Grant brothers who's in the NBA. And he said, one of the conversation pieces we have is, do they want to be in a league where the talent is not as tight and they're not able to develop as a player as much? And that's an issue. Because
But didn't college basketball for those one and done guys like a 6-month dunk contest?
yeah, but those guys are going up against, other 5-star basketball players during that year. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when you're at an HBCU, you're going up against guys who are shorter than you, who are not as fast. You know what I'm saying?
If you recall, we had quite a few 5-star guys that decided to go to Morehouse and didn't take a basketball scholarship. It was actually good talent at school when we got there. But
I'm not saying that, but even
I think Larry could have got a scholarship to UCLA.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to go to UCLA, but I think he opted out or got hurt. He got hurt his senior year in high school or something like that. I think that's what it was. Don't quote me on that. But
it worked out though.
Could have went to UCLA.
Yeah, now you talking about Larry Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he's coaching one of the G League teams, I believe.
No. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
My question is, beyond we referenced the BLM and Maker referenced it as his influence, but HBCUs want to get that kind of talent. They need more than some outside influence to make that happen. The reason why they're not getting this talent is because of the money. They don't have the money to
recruit some facilities and all of that.
Yeah, they don't have the facilities.
They don't even have the budget to send their coaches across the country.
Right. Yeah. But my thing is, when you start having a maker coming to Howard, guess what? Who follows? ESPN. And guess what ESPN got to do? They got to pay, baby. They got to pay. So essentially, you start getting them television money. That stuff will come in time.
And Nike's gonna be at them. Nike's gonna buy all the shoes, the unis.
Man,
give money.
All that. I don't know if you guys know who Mikey Williams is. He's
right, dude from Compton.
He's a 5-star recruit, but he's not coming out to 2023. His mother went to Hampton, played softball in Hampton, and he's referenced that his exact quote was something like, "Going to an HBCU wouldn't be that bad." And as soon as he sent that tweet out, he received scholarship offers from a slew of schools: Alabama State, Delaware State, Florida A&M, Grambling, Hampton, Howard, Morehouse, North Carolina Central, Southern, TSU, and Norfolk State. I mean, he's 3 years out.
Yeah.
And he tweeted that out and elicited that kind of response. So
and I think the key that we got to stress in this thing though is this is not about racial separation or trying to resegregate ourselves, whatever. These guys are making these choices because the fans and the students at the schools are not welcoming them. If you saw how that guy was talking about, he didn't want to play in front of the rebel flag, and they said everything in the world about that young man, and basically told him to go back to Africa. And why don't he leave and all this other stuff? These guys are making these choices. They're being forced to. You know what I'm saying? Because how can you maintain your self-respect and you playing in front of fans that are demonstrably racist? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a point that we need to add to this as well.
That's a great point.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Didn't mean make it such a somber ass tone, but
yeah.
They be enforcing this.
I hope it happens, man, because it's going to be another stream of revenue for our schools. Period. And it's going to be a big stream of revenue. And I hope this trend continues down the road. And then we get into better divisions, we get recognized, and we just take over. But
hey man,
we'll see.
Keep loving their flag. They keep loving their flag, man. The trend will continue. These young brothers not going for it. But players, looks like we are at the top of the hour. And I guess these conversations went so well we didn't get to entanglements. So looks like we're going to have a cliffhanger. We're going to pick that one up next week. So go to the website, the House 94 podcast, or thehouse94.com. Add your comments. Look at the previous episodes. Comments. Like I mentioned before, we're all well-accomplished men. We don't get our feelings hurt very easily. So give us your honest feedback. We want to make the show better. We want to know what you want to hear about. And check us out on IG, the House 94. It's all the House 94. Twitter, IG, all of that. Go check it out.
Hey, Carl.
What up?
Do we really want to talk about entanglements? Yeah, I do, but we can just say Everybody just give one little opinion about it. Around the horn.
We got
30
time for
seconds.
that. So since she's so burning up, Chuck, go ahead.
Okay.
Hold on,
30 seconds.
hold on.
My
Hang
opinion.
on, wait. Let me hang on.
That's a
brother.
good cliffhanger, by the way.
Go.
Right now, Entanglement. Jada Pickett, whatever her name is. Yeah, Jada, Will Smith's wife. She was a predator by behavior.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Period.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
That couple, yeah, they had a partnership when they got married. Partnership, no spiritual connection. I'm done.
Bang. All right. Cool. Go ahead.
Man, Entanglements was kind of interesting to me because I looked at it kind of from a business standpoint. I mean, I saw, hey, you get anybody, you better get a non-disclosure. I saw that. That's very important. Non-disclosure is so big. Another thing I saw, you have to give it somebody you trust. It's very important. And the last thing, you know, what I saw displayed kind of with Will Smith was through good and bad times, get someone that's kind of down for you. That's very, very important because you will have challenging times in life. Give someone who's down for you, you know, through thick and thin.
Excellent. Lou.
Great.
And I looked at it, and my opinion was, who gives a shit? It's just something that happens all the time. That was nothing new except they had big names. And at the end, I thought it was sort of a payback because Will said, "I'll get you back," and she said, "I think you already did." And he's like, "I think you're right." So who cares?
Lou, the contrarian in chief. Spicy.
Hey man, I'm gonna keep mine real short and sweet. Entanglement, as far as I'm concerned, is inevitable. So I can't wait to have the deeper discussion.
God damn. Man, what's going on, man? You that mad at the marriage? Goddamn.
No,
Did he say that about that?
I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing about being angry. I'm saying entanglements are inevitable. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I got you. I got mine real brief, man. Real brief. Yo, if you're the side piece, just shut the fuck up. Gone.
So, yeah. I don't know if I've got anything to add to that. I'll think about it and have some bullet points ready for next week. But damn, say it was inevitable. I'm like, right, Chuck, man, Chuck can call this lady a whore. So I'm like, man.
No, he called her a predator.
I'm not usually at a loss for words, but y'all jumping this one. I mean, we ought to just get it in the can, but we're gonna hold off till next week. So, like I said, thehouse94.com, the house on IG, house94 on IG, the house94 on Twitter. Check us out, provide your comments. Appreciate you tuning in. Until next time.
Deuces.
Hey, great job, fellas.